Up next on the Tesla Plaid. How's it running tonight?
First run ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Bradenton Motorsports Park, September 14th, 2023. We're looking for 9-second cars. We hear there's 3 of them out here tonight. All kinds of cars out here tonight. We got some Mustangs, number of Corvettes. Check out the Toyota Supra and that Toyota Supra with the Chute. We only like to race cars that are 9 seconds and faster. Let's find them and race them. All right, impromptu race here. We didn't have any time to put it in drag strip mode. We're not even going to try. We're going to just launch in Plaid, see what we get. We haven't made a pass in Plaid mode for a long time. We're at 89% battery state of charge, although we can't use launch control. So you know what? I will switch it to drag strip mode. Just 9 minutes remaining. We don't know anything about this Foxbody. And they just re-prepped, so the track is sticky. All right, we're definitely not going to be peak performance ready. Still says 8 minutes remaining. That's fine. All right, well, plenty of time to get into launch control. We're Pro Tree here. There we go. There we go. So that Foxbody never left the line. He must have had a technical issue. We heard that car in the pits was making a lot of noise. Looked like it had all the parts, pieces to be running 9s or better. All right, we launched with 89%. We're down to 86.
9-1.
Thank you. Yep. Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Wow. 9-1, she says. Ha! What a pass. Okay, we were still 8 minutes away from peak performance ready. We ran a 917 at 152.3 miles an hour. Only 89% state of charge when we launched. A 146 60 foot and a 594 to the 8th mile at 121. I do believe our best 8th mile has been 593. And our best ever ET in this car in the quarter mile is 915. So just 0.02 of a second off our best ever ET. Can't complain with that pass at all. And people are saying this car is slowing down. Well, if it's running 917 at 89% battery state of charge with 8 minutes to go till peak performance ready, 0.02 of a second off our personal best that we set well over a year ago. I think it was June of 2022 that we set that personal best. And here it is September, so yeah, it was 15 months ago. Not to mention this car is over 2 years old. It's been down the drag strip 600 times maybe. This COPO Camaro's running 9s tonight. Thankfully they've got a battery over each rear wheel for balance and ballast. Traction. Beauty.
I watch your channel all the time.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
Thank you. How's it running tonight?
First run ever.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I did a 970. It's got a lot more in it. I couldn't get the car off the line. It shook the tires, and then the car just the rear tires really shook hard.
You trapped over 150 though.
154.
All right, so it's definitely got a lot in it.
It's got more in it.
That should be bottom 9s for sure. Yeah. Bottom 9s just with that tune, much less if you tweak anything. So.
Well, this car's been sitting since 2017. These are tires from 2017.
Oh, man.
You can stop telling everybody that.
No, I want to tell everybody. So they think I love this guy.
Well, the sidewalls look good. I mean, it's not like I'm seeing any sidewall rot or anything.
Yeah, no.
Yeah.
And he just went 970 at 154 miles per hour.
Yeah, I'd be more worried about the 154 than the 970. I don't even like
the tires shook like a funny car.
I love your channel, bro. I have a YouTube channel too.
Oh, sweet.
I don't know if you like the Robin Hood of Wall Street. I just bought this.
Oh, you just bought it. That's why I got you.
This
It was sitting in somebody else's garage for 6
Yeah,
years.
there's someone else's garage.
Well, if you get a better pass and if the tires feel stable.
Oh, it's going to be a better pass this time.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see what happens.
Yeah.
I'm running on really old tires here.
All right, we got Greg Mannarino here in his This car should be running 9s, but I don't think you like the way it felt off the line there. This ZL-1 can run 8s. I don't know how much of a sleeper it is with a parachute on the back. All right. We didn't think there were any 8-second cars out here tonight, but this one certainly is. This thing normally runs 8s all day long. We saw him run a high 8 a moment ago. Trap's well over 150. You can see the chute. So the only variable is traction, reaction time. We're drag strip mode, peak performance ready, 86% battery state of charge. All right, we should be fully in launch control. We blew up the tires. That's too bad. We blew up the tires. Oh, we blew them off too much. That's too bad. He ran an 880 earlier. I know talk is cheap, so I'm going to show you here his time slip from earlier tonight. You can see he ran an 880 at well over 150 miles an hour. It's too bad he blew the tires off on that pass. We were hoping to get him by enough on the tree to make it an interesting race. And I think we did have a good tree there. We'll find out here in a second when we get the slip for this race.
Here you are.
Thank you. Yeah. We launched at 86, ran a 920 at 151.53 miles an hour and an 016 reaction time. I was saying I knew that car was running high 8s and I was going to need a tree. So an 016 would have made it interesting. We had a 146.60 foot and a 595 at 120.6. 2 solid passes tonight, 917 and 920, and we rolled in with under 90% battery state of charge, so no complaints at all. All over the track. And still ran over 150 miles an hour. It's like 152. No, you're not seeing double. We got 2 white Supras out here on bead locks with parachutes. Cars are pretty hard to tell apart. All right, we're about to line up with this big boost Supra, trapping around 150 miles an hour. And unfortunately, he specifically asked me if he can stage first, which means we cannot use launch control, because if we're going in second, there's no way to make it happen. There's 2 almost identical looking white Supras out here, and supposedly this is the faster of the 2. This one's running no time. The other one is showing his time on the board, and he's got several passes in the 9s, around 150 miles an hour. So if this one is faster, as everyone says, it's going to be a challenge. I don't want to give him anything on the tree. All right, we're drag strip mode, peak performance ready, 82% battery state of charge. This is going to be different from the way we normally launch it. So even after this race, we're not going to see his time slip unless he offers to show it to us. All right, no launch control here, but we are peak performance ready in drag strip mode, 82%. So he's got a bulb, he's got 2 bulbs. Now, leave him if you can, yeah. Look how launch worked out. give him his staging preference, which was definitely not our staging preference. No launch control there for us, but it felt like a good pass anyway. As for what he did run, unless he shows us his slip, we're not going to know, because they're only going to give us our half of this slip here.
Here you are.
Thank you very much.
No problem.
All right, no launch control. So we ran a 931 at 149.5. We knew we were going to be a little bit slower on the ET, so we had to make up for it somehow. How about a 005 reaction time? Foot brake on that Sportsman tree. 005. Been a little while since we've done a 00. We're not usually trying for that close of a reaction time to 0 because it's just not worth red lighting. But I didn't want to get beat by that Supra, especially when we couldn't launch the way we wanted to. So we left him nothing on that tree. Even though it doesn't show us his numbers, it does show us the margin at the finish line on this ticket, 1.14 seconds. Hard to say exactly what he did because we don't know what his reaction time was. Let's talk to him. These cars are pretty hard to tell apart. So we got this one right here that we're about to race. And we got that one over there that we just raced. We thought this one would be the faster one, but he did not have a good launch. Yeah, there's a few differences. Stickers and stuff.
You took off on that light pretty well. I'm still trying to figure out a launch.
I didn't want to leave anything to chance. I did get a 005 on the foot brake on that one.
Really?
I did.
I'm trying to figure out after he's done the burnout and he's launching his car, it's in second gear.
Yeah.
But it drops to first. So when he hits it, no, it's in second, but when he hits it, it drops back to first.
No.
So he's got to double shift it up, so we're trying to figure out what's wrong.
Yeah.
It's just in the tune. It's something to do with it. They tuned out the first gear, so it shouldn't be in there at all. It should just be second gear go.
Right.
But off the hit, it goes back in first gear.
Well, after you get the trans tune worked out, I'll give him a chance to smoke.
Yeah, right.
Smoke me the way he should.
Oh, no, dude, the Plaids are no joke, dude. Things are fast.
Good. Yeah, sorry the trans didn't work for you on that one.
No, it hasn't been working since I bought the car. I don't know what's wrong with it.
Yeah.
It literally, I'll launch it. See, you launch those cars in second gear, and when I launch it, it'll drop down to first.
Okay.
And the trans doesn't like it. It overheats.
Yeah.
He's done it every single pass.
What'd you cut off the light at 005?
005.
Yeah,
Well, you see, the thing was,
treat the out of me anyways.
the thing was, is when you said you wanted to go in first, I had to go in behind you second, so I couldn't use my launch control. And launch control's worth about a tenth. I ran a 917 earlier tonight, but on our pass I ran a 931.
Yeah.
And I knew I was going to run slower, so I'm like, okay, I need to cut a tree here. And got the 00, and it was fun.
Things are fast, dude. They're no joke. If I could afford one, I'd have one.
Yeah. They've gotten cheaper, you know. You can get these now for 90 grand new, and used you can get them like 65 to 75. I'm gonna run your buddy. All right, for our final pass tonight, we're running the other white Supra. Big boost, runs 9s. Oh, it's too bad Scott's making another run. I'd love to run Scott again, but he was so squirrely on that last pass. Okay, they just re-prepped. Probably 10 cars and 4 bikes have gone down. Prep should still be pretty darn good. We're down to 79% battery state of charge. Drag strip mode, peak performance ready. We're not giving any concessions on this run. We'll take it off the tree. It will be a Sportsman. There's a lot of water scattered here though, so I think I'm going to roll through. Okay, we're deep staged, but we know we are. All right. Had all kinds of funny staging tonight. So on that one, we knew we were deep staged. I was trying to get in there in a hurry since he was rushing up to the light. And I know I was deep staged because the top staging bulb went out, and that's how you tell when you're deep staged. So My chances of red lighting were high. I couldn't leave like I normally would leave. I actually waited till I saw green before I got on it, and it looked like we had a 257 reaction, which is fine. I wasn't too worried about the reaction on that. But I'd rather have a 257 and have a chance to win the race than red light and lose it at the line.
Here you are.
Thank you.
No problem.
So some people think, hey, why not deep stage every time you're close to the finish line? Well, when you deep stage, it hurts your times all the way through the ticket. Hurts your 60 foot, hurts your eighth mile, hurts your quarter mile. And you wouldn't think being 12 or 14 inches closer to the start line would hurt you, but it does because you don't have a flying head start, which is what you get when you shallow stage. All of our runs tonight, we were down on the 140 60 foots, like 146, 146. This one here, 157 with a 610 eighth mile, and we ran 937 at 147 miles an hour in the quarter mile. Those bottom two numbers pretty bad, but we had enough to beat the Supra. At the finish line, a little more than half a second, 0.643. The Supra ran a 10.2 at 144 miles an hour. That's a good mile an hour. At 144 miles an hour, he should have been running in the 9s. You can see he was only 3 miles an hour behind us. He had a good reaction time, 007. Look at that. But his 60 foot was pretty bad, and we were almost a second ahead of him at the 8th mile. He came out of the top, but not enough, and I don't think he was pulling on us since he was still 3 miles an hour slower at the traps. Fun race. That second Supra that we raced is about to race this red Supra. I don't think the red Supra has a chance. That red Supra's about to get smoked. Oh, 144 miles an hour. All right, let's see if Scott can have a better pass. Maybe now after the re-prep he can be back into running in the 8s. .37 at 156 miles an hour. That would have been a good race. Next on the Tesla Plaid channel. Some fun runs tonight. We're leaving the track with 76% battery state of charge after those 4 runs. So that first pass, the 917, reminded us this car ain't slowing down. And those last 2 passes reminded us that if we don't launch our way, with launch control, shallow staged, etc., we're not going to get our best time either. So I know there's a lot of guys out there that are running 930s and 940s, usually with 21-inch wheels, running slower. But shallow staging makes a difference. Launch control makes a difference. Having more than about 80% battery state of charge makes a difference. And having a well-prepped track and some lightweight wheels like these 19s and Pirellis make a big difference as well. Add it all up and we're running 917s. Oh yeah, by the way, we have no back seat in this car and a lot of the trim is out of the back. But we do have all the door panels, all the stereo speakers, subwoofer, airbags, both front seats. So a lot of stuff is in the car. This car is hardly what somebody would call gutted. Good fun. We're out here again a couple nights from now, street heat on Saturday night. So a lot of racing lately. A lot of quarter mile racing and not as much 8th mile. What do you prefer, quarter mile or 8th mile? Let us know in the comments. And we'll see you next time right here on the Tesla Plaid channel.